Greco. I have it the whole. Let's see. I saw a couple of resolutions that we sent them for an identifying school, elected officials or et cetera, that we sent a packet to them. I thought it did, I thought it asked me to read it.
We just want, so the grant.
And the dates on here.
The amendment number 2.
I have a copy of the lease sign that I'm having you back on the face.
Write it to them.
Okay.
And say, we have received this copy. That.
An agenda and the minutes. I don't know that we approved it via resolution.
Okay, well, even if we have minutes,
Yeah.
approved,
Okay.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, we're ready. Good evening. At this time, we're going to call the special meeting of the Town of Magonia Park for June 8th, 2021. At this session, roll call, please.
Mayor Alberry,
Here.
Vice Mayor Johnson.
Here.
And Councilman O'Connell.
Here. Thank you so much, and we do have a quorum. So at this time, we're going to get right into our meeting. We're going to turn it over to our town manager, Ken Metcalf.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Councilman O'Connell, as we discussed a little bit last week in some of our previous one-on-ones, when we had the workshop last week, it was decided that we would bring these items into a special call meeting today. And the reason so, we had presented a couple of items to be presented in next year's budget, but council took the approach that maybe we should purchase these items this year. So just running through number 2A, request for the approval of a budget amendment to fiscal year 2020-2021's budget in the utility fund for the following provisions. Number 1, revenue line item 380100, and that's your contingency revenue line item, increased by $585,000 Revenue line item 384000, CDBG revenue, that's the Community Development Block Grant line item. Number 3, expenditure line item 535000.435, sewage disposal. We're going to add $405,000 to that, and that's for the sole purpose of the Riviera Beach payment in the amount of $355,079. As referenced in resolution number 2021-05 on April 6, 2021. And for the sole purpose of the Riviera Beach settlement agreement payment in the amount of $50,000. And finally, number 4, expenditure line item 535,000.630, capital outlay infrastructure. We're adding to that expenditure line item $180,000 for the sole purpose of dispersing $77,727 to the Hinterland Group. This payment's already been made. This is just cleaning up our current budget. But this payment's already been made. We're just adding it to the budget for the Greenwater Cemetery Sewer Project and for the sole purpose of purchasing a new hydraulic submersible trash pump with attachments up to $50,000. We do not believe that it's going to cost that much. We still have to go out and get quotes, but up to $50,000. And for the sole purpose of a new generator, up to $50,000 for the master lift station on 53rd Street. I will be happy to answer any questions. That was a lot in just a few seconds, but I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have on that. And of course, the clerk and the attorney and the utility director are here as well.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We'll first see if there's any questions or comments. We have council. Any questions or comments? You have before you this request as it relates to transferring monies. Now, just as the council is collecting their thoughts, just for the clarification of the record, we do have here on the agenda the $405,000 payment. That's item 2A at 3, section 3. Now, in the you had stated as it relates to item 4 that had been paid. Right, but for line item 3, just for the record, this payment has been made as well, and
yes, sir. Item 3 that has been paid is cleared to bank. We're just cleaning up our paperwork.
Okay, great. Okay, just wanted to have it for the record. Okay. Any questions or comments council have at this time? Any comments or questions? If not, then Vice Mayor.
Just give me more clarification, because I was trying to keep up with the line items. You kind of ran ahead of me, so tell me again what the line item is that the 355,000 is reference to those.
That was when we issued the checks, that was charged out of the sewage disposal line item and the utility budget under the sewer department.
Line 36.
Okay.
Basically what's happening here is when you move money from your checking account and you want to put it into your budget, you have to move it to a revenue line item first, and then from the revenue line item to an expenditure line item. And that's what we're accomplishing here. The payments to Riviera Beach have been made and cleared, and also the payment to the Hinterland Group for $77,727. That has been made. We're just adding to our budget to ensure that we do not go over for the year. But in addition to that, we are asking for council to approve the $180,000, which is inclusive of that $77,000. The 2 additional items in that would be the pump for up to $50,000 and the generator for up to $50,000.
This has not been paid then, you're saying this is a request for purchase?
That is correct. Those 2 items have not been paid. We have not selected a vendor, so they have not been paid. We began getting quotes on those, but we haven't selected. Certainly that's going to come back to town council.
Okay, any further questions, Vice Mayor?
Now, where was the refund money?
The CDBG line 17. I'm sorry. It should be under line 17. It's mistakenly underlined in your budget under line 16, the refund. The CDBG funds received on sewer infrastructure reimbursement for 153,620. It should be line 16, line 17. Sorry. I hate spreadsheets, but yeah.
This is transfer account.
No, it says CDBG. It's in the transfer account, but it shouldn't.
Okay.
It's just up one. So that'll be reflected in your resolution. So your budget, approved budget is going to change, and of course it has to go back to the state, if I can say that. And if you look in your right-hand column, instead of changing it now because you haven't approved it, it's highlighted in red, and reflecting on line 15 is spelled incorrectly. So, but you see the 585, 100 represented under 405 and 180, correct? And so that becomes your revenue for contingency. And then you have to, your revenue for the CDBG grant money that we received so far, the 153,620. That will increase your budget item for revenue from $1,190,210 to $1,928,930. And likewise, in the expenditure, it will change as well. As the town manager pointed out, that $675,000 for sewage disposal on line 36 becomes $1,080,100 because of your $405,000 payout. You paid Riviera Beach $355,079.79, which is $356.20, yes. And then, so that changes that line item to $1,080,100. And because you approved this budget and these funds were not there, even though you had them in the bank, that's why you're doing the budget amendment. And of course, the same thing for line item 39, line item 40. And then ultimately, the last line item 73.
Okay. Any further questions, Vice Mayor? Okay. McConnell?
Question I got, the hydraulic, the trash pump and new hydraulic, is that portable? That's portable, so you can take that to any lift station.
The 50,000 is inclusive of trailer.
And the old generator from the master lift station, was there some discussion on that, a move, trying to see if they could move it? Move the old one?
They said you can. Because it's on a stand, so you take the old stand, the gas tank, move that over here, and then put the new one over there.
Right. Okay, any other questions or discussion? Okay, so,
As a side note, the town manager did do a full explanation as to the submersible pump with all the attachments as well as the other item, the generator. I just didn't include it in your packet. So I can make sure that you get that after the meeting. You'll know exactly what those submersible pump attachments are, what it includes, et cetera, for the money. And the $50,000, as you stated at the last meeting, was an estimate. Sorry.
okay, certainly. Now, just so that we're clear for the record and for anyone who may be watching us, who may still have some questions as to one particular, one stated we're going to be adding some money. If you could just give just a recapitulation of what's happening so that it's clear to anyone who may be listening and for the record, beginning with the fact that we did not budget for this amount and we had some payments that we had to make, and therefore what we're doing now is, and I'll give you the floor.
Yes, and just a further explanation on this. So your checking account for the utility fund is in very healthy shape. So what we're doing, it's right at $700,000, okay? That is even after we've made these Riviera Beach payments for 405 total. So we're, on that, we're just cleaning up the spreadsheet of the budget and reporting that to Tallahassee as a budget amendment. That money's already been spent. In addition, we need to, even though it's already been paid, that one Hinterland payment for $77,000, that needs to be cleaned up with a budget amendment, because that was not in this year's budget. It was in last year's budget. The project was not far enough along to where it was spent last year. It got bumped into this year, but it was not budgeted, so we're doing a budget amendment there. That's already been paid. In addition to that, we've received a reimbursement from the county, the CDBG, that Sherry was referring to, the clerk was referring to, for $153,600. We received that in recent weeks. Last week, council ratified the transferring of that from the general fund to the utility fund. So tonight, we're taking those funds and moving it into a revenue line item, which is the CDBG, and then into an expenditure line item under the sewer department for capital expenditures. And she'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thanks so much. And of course, as known, municipalities, of course, unlike the federal government, cannot carry a deficit. Right, we have to have a balanced budget, which we do at the beginning of budget sessions. And because of these payouts that we had, that we did not budget, we're now, as Ken stated, and the clerk as well, we're now making sure that those items, because what's not reflected as our bank account dollars, is not reflected in budgets. So what we're doing now is just moving, as you stated, to make sure that those line items are shown so that we do continue to have a balanced budget when we present this amendment. It will show that we've actually now still have a balanced budget, in essence. Okay. Okay. So if there's any other questions or comments, we'll take those. Any other council comments or questions? Excuse me. Okay. All right. Okay, you good? Okay. Any other comments or questions from staff? If not, then Mitty, do you have anything at this point?
No, sir.
Okay. All righty. That's as it relates to the budget itself. Seeing that there's no other questions or comments, we do have before us, for the purpose of the special meeting, is the request that we do the budget amendment so that it reflects the payments that have been made. Everything has been paid, so these are not future payments. There are actually payments that have been made, and for the purpose of just making sure that for accounting purposes, we're showing that those items are being covered through this amendment. With that understanding, and no other questions or comments, you do have before you a request to do the budget amendment. If there's no other questions or comments, what is your pleasure as it relates to the budget amendment request?
Mr. Mayor, one quick comment, my apologies.
Sure.
So just for everyone's comfort, we're being able to accomplish this without touching any of your reserves.
Okay. So noted. Thanks. Okay. Ready? Anything else? If not, then motion, please.
Mr. Mayor, I so move that we approve the budget amendment that has been stated for fiscal year 2021 in the utility fund and the following provisions as previously stated.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any additional questions on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember McConnell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Johnson,
Yes.
and Mayor Alderman.
Yes.
It passes unanimously.
Thank you so much. Seeing that that was the only item for the special, I'm sorry, we still need to clear up the purchase. So if the understanding is that we actually took care of that as well in this motion, and then seeing that there's no other items before us, is there a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Has been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. It is carried. Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
And budget workshop right after
Well, thanks so much. So we'll take 5 minutes, and then we'll prepare for the budget workshop. We're going to ask if there's anyone who's online with us. Feel free to continue as we get into our budget workshop just momentarily. 5 minutes. Thank you so much.
How was your day there?
Oh, it was pretty good. Yeah, I suppose that had been a short day and ended up being a long